live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Why is it that every time I go to give the night, I have to look on my computer to make sure I give the right day of the week?
Because you're old.
I'm so old. I can never.
Plus, you don't have a typical work job, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So Tuesday, live from Studio 6B. Glad you're in. We are streaming right now only on socials. So we can say whatever the hell we want.
Whoa!
Get that.
Because Trump is still live with Sarah Sanders.
President.
Not in Arkansas, though, in Michigan.
All right.
The governor of Arkansas is with President Trump in Michigan.
Okay.
I guess because they're talking cars or something. I don't know. Why'd they pick Michigan? Does anybody know? I probably should know, but I don't.
Because it's a battleground
I
state?
pay no attention to these
That
things.
would help.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Good point, Delgado.
Yeah.
How are you?
I got one.
You got one
Got one every
blind
night.
does, whatever they say, blind squirrel. How are you?
I am good. How about yourself?
I'm fine.
I don't care.
Well, I know you don't care, but I'm going to answer anyways. I do care when I ask you, though.
No.
Yes, I do.
You only like to make fun of what
That's
comes
not
out
true.
of your
That's
mouth.
not true.
Thank you, Slick. Thank you, Slickster.
He holds you in high regard, Rick.
Yeah.
Slickster, I love that color.
Thank you. This is pink. It looks kind of like the red I wore last night, but no.
That's not a fuchsia?
Fuchsia.
Fuchsia would be a
Fuchsia is,
yeah.
Aaron,
Cool.
that's
Yeah.
fuchsia. Would you
at me.
say yes?
It's like fuchsia.
Yeah, Aaron says it is.
Yep. Great shoes.
All right, so we're live on our socials at LFS6B, YouTube, Twitter, which would now be X, of course, Rumble, Facebook. Welcome on in. Glad you're in. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Smash the like, as the young kids say. We appreciate that. I saw that YouTube crossed over 15,000 today, which is a good start. Like to see that cross over 100,000, but 15,000 is a good start, given that we started at 0 not too long ago. So 15,000 on the YouTube, as Bernie would say. Check out the YouTubes. Let's see. Bill and Noran Wamister are watching, and they say we love you guys. And as they both know, I love both of them for a long time now. And they are old family friends of my parents, and they're the best. So thank you for watching. Let's see. Damon missed you this morning. Yes, you did, and I apologize for that, John. I will be back tomorrow morning, and Vinnie Mac's going to join me tomorrow morning, so that'll be fun. Slick joined me about 2 weeks ago or so. That was
great.
good.
That was
Maybe
nice.
do that again when you're not in such a rush.
I will.
Let's see who else is out there. Real Prince Doll is out there. He says hello, Aaron and Fran.
Now, you go on at 9 a.m. Eastern, right?
Yes, Becky
EST?
Snyder on YouTube. Hello. Patrick on Facebook, 9 a.m.
Okay.
Roughly 9. We're not held to that.
Give it
9:05.
Depends on how the coffee maker's moving.
Yeah, coffee makers around me are so slow usually.
Coffee.
And of course, I got Tucker. Got to take care of the dog.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah. Stephen Breyer says, love Vinnie Mac. Thank you. It's nice to have Vinnie back in the mix a little bit.
Yeah,
We did
he's
it for
great.
5 years together. Let's see. Someone said Slick Rick's looking sharp as usual.
Thank you.
Laura on Facebook. Love you guys. Hello. Tommy Viper. What's going on, Tommy Viper?
The one Rav Mod that didn't make it to the studio,
Hey,
unfortunately.
she just took the words out of my mouth. It was fun having the Rav Mods here last night, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, they're great girls.
It was nice to meet them.
Nice family.
Nice family. Very nice.
Sweethearts.
Jane on Facebook says, love the show. Thank you. KC58 says 6B control room. By the way, we've never talked about this. I love this whole 6B control room thing that Aaron and Fran, or one of them, started. How many followers does at 6B control room have now? Do we know?
I never heard of it.
You know what?
More than the actual real show.
I always forget to check.
Yeah, no, I love that.
I got $250,000
Yeah,
out of the gate.
exactly. Yeah, I love this at 6B control room. So
I'd follow it if I knew about it.
And by the way, we got to follow. I told Vinnie Mac we got to build up the socials on Vinnie Mac. I don't even know what the hell his handle is. It should be at Vinnie Mac, but I'm sure it's not. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Vincent Buda. But we'll do that tomorrow. He's going to join me in the morning. Let's see. Buzzard. Hello. Aaron and Fran rock, says Rebecca on Facebook. Let's see. Who else is out there? Damon, my morning coffee missed you. Mr. AZ Mikey, yes. I'll be back tomorrow morning. How's my eyes? Beth on Facebook. My eyes are good. Good.
Still got 2, right?
Still got 2.
Right.
One's got oil in it still. I'm
thought you were supposed to have that
afraid to
drained
take the
already.
oil out.
I thought you were supposed to have that drained already.
Well, yeah, I probably should have, but I've been a little. I'm a little scaredy cat, a little wussy boy, to take the oil out in this right eye, because the oil is what's acting as the keeping the retina flat, and I'm worried that once I take the oil out, it may be good for a while, but I don't want something else to happen.
Right, but isn't that what's supposed? Aren't they supposed to take it out at some point? You can't leave it in there forever.
No, you can actually leave it in forever, but of course, then you have blurry vision forever. That's like looking through a bottle of water. It's not the clearest. So if I take it out and put saline in there, I would think the vision would be good, but then the retina's, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, what does your doctor say or your surgeon?
Well, he says we should probably think about taking it out.
He says he's going to keep an eye on it.
He says we'll keep an eye on it. I'll get back to you. So we'll see. I don't know. Paging Hezbollah, aisle 6, please.
That is my favorite story.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
Paging Hezbollah, aisle 6, please.
You couldn't. When I saw that headline break this morning, I was
a bombshell.
I've been waiting to drop that bomb all day. Yeah.
At first, I was like, "Wait, what?"
Terrible.
I'm like, pagers. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. They probably don't use the cell phones because they don't want to be tracked, so they went to pagers.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, Mossad Mobile decided to come up with pagers for them.
Yeah, we got special delivery coming that we'll get back to in about 8 months.
Yeah, isn't that is like you ever see the movie Law Abiding Citizen with Gerard Butler?
No.
How the hell do you have the time to watch all these movies?
It's about 10 years.
All you do is watch movies.
I've seen every movie.
You have.
Gerard
Basically,
Butler.
but
Yeah, let me think
basically-
about that. No.
Basically, he is what they call a brain. If you want somebody dead, he will find a way to get them dead without actually being in the room or even being in the country. It's an amazing thing.
I'm surprised that
we're here to
movie
get you
interests you.
dead.
Right. So this sounds like Mossad just employed, I don't know, a few hundred
Get you
Gerard
dead guys.
Butlers.
Yeah.
And, basically, it's amazing because we have one of the videos. I sent it over.
Kenneth on Facebook says, paging Abdul. Paging
Let me
Abdul.
see. Here it is. It's cut number 22. Watch as hilarity ensues as this Hezbollah's members pager goes off, and let's just say he doesn't have a remember anymore.
Oops.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Paging Hezbollah.
We got to clean up in aisle. Ouch.
Yeah. That's ugly.
What an insane operation that they pulled off.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was dumbfounded. I'm like, because here they are thinking, we're going to be so smart, we're going to get away from cell phone. I'm doing a voice. And we're going to use pagers. They'll never get us with pagers.
Yeah.
And they got you with pagers.
Someone in the chat said, goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
According to, and it's funny too, because when it first broke, it said like 8 people dead and a few injured. Now, from the New York Post, as of, I want to say, about 6 p.m. today, thousands of Hezbollah fighters injured. Mm-hmm. Thousands.
Yeah.
When their new pagers, they all got new pagers at
Started
the same time, went off. And their new pagers all simultaneously explode, causing horrific wounds to their groins and hands. That was a video that the New York Post also put in there. Thousands of Hezbollah terrorists were injured in southern Lebanon when their new pagers all simultaneously exploded, causing horrific.
Ouch.
If I'm laughing at this,
I had a pager back in the day.
so did
Yeah,
I.
everybody did.
Don't you remember?
Never looked down and saw it say, look out.
Right.
You turned it upside down.
I remember the first time you ever saw a pager? First time I ever saw a pager or somebody with a pager was in Caddyshack, Dr. Beeper. Remember, he'd just gotten out of the pool and his pager went off and he grabbed it and he started electrocuting himself.
I remember the Baby Ruth bar and floating in the pool. Yeah. That's all I remember.
It was so cool to have a pager, boy.
Oh, you thought you were the big stuff.
And it would go off. Yeah.
Lebanese officials said
so corny.
Lebanese officials said 2,800 people were injured, 9 killed in what Hezbollah officials claimed was an attack by Israel.
Aaron, did you ever have a pager? No, when you listen to us, do you think, my God,
what's a pager?
What are these guys talking about?
Yeah.
I know what a pager is.
Okay.
Okay.
I never had one, but
yeah. Fran, did you ever have a pager? You're not old enough either, probably, right?
They were around, but I was not privileged enough to get them.
I wasn't that lame, Damon.
He was 5 years old when he noticed it.
Yes.
Hezbollah, the Lebanese militant group, that
clean
the
up
US
on aisle C4.
That is designated as a terrorist organization, confirmed the wide-ranging attack on its operatives, including fighters and medics. One official speaking on the condition of anonymity, that's until his pager goes off, call it the biggest security breach since the group began its near-daily attacks on Israel on October 8th. The devices were detonated, were the latest models.
Yeah, of course, sure. The latest models. Latest models. They're a big smash.
Acquired by Hezbollah from Mossad Mobile. They were distributed to members after Hezbollah's leader warned the fighters not to carry cell phones, telling them they could be used to track their movements or carry out targeted strikes. Use this pager instead.
Tommy Viper says, I love when you guys are just on socials. The show gets so far off the rails so fast.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
According to this story, the Israeli spy agency Mossad allegedly intercepted the shipment about 5 months ago and rigged them. I can't pronounce what the hell they rigged it with. It's a highly PETN is the shorthand for it. Yeah. A highly explosive material sources at Sky News.
Blow your ass off.
Yeah, exactly. According to translation from Israeli media, the explosive material was allegedly placed inside the pager's batteries and detonated by an external command that caused the battery temperatures to overheat and trigger the explosion. And it sounded a little something like this. Kaboom.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. So.
Wow, this is awesome.
I saw a post that said I shouldn't have bought it TNT Wireless.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
Oh, my God.
Holy moly. So that I think was my favorite story of the day. Had to be my favorite story.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to join Rav here in a second. What do I have to do, Aaron? Anything? Problem is, I didn't watch any of it.
What you're talking about?
Right.
Don't have Grant. I hear John, but not him.
Up.
I would ask you, Steve, how does he take this from here until November? Is he keep doing these? Are we going to see multiples every week? Is it 3-4 of these things a week? What's your best guesstimate?
I think he's put his foot in the gas pedal and he's riding it here all the way out. I want to echo on something that John mentioned there. I think it's really important, and I want to circle it, and that is the Jewish vote that in Pennsylvania has a lot more impact than people realize because the effective.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those of you watching on socials, I'm not just sitting here. I'm waiting to join Rav, so just hang with us here. Ooh. Oh, that's all right, Grant. Great stuff, as always, from John, Steve, and you. And you're right, great stuff from the president. Listen, he's going to be here in Uniondale, New York tomorrow. Slick Rick, who's on the show with me, just told me there's 65,000 requests for tickets for an arena that's going to hold about 14 and a half. 65,000 requests for tickets in Uniondale tomorrow night. So he's making a play everywhere. No. Well, everybody knows more about this than me, Grant. If you ask me, I would say no. But I mean, I've said this for a long time. You know, he lost New York by 66 percentage points in 2020. If you lose it by 25, I guess I don't know. Is that a victory or not a victory? I don't know. I mean, I don't think New York and these places are in play. Minnesota, I don't. But you talk to people here. There's certainly their energy. There's always energy. You know, we live on Long Island, Suffolk County, more of a very red district, very red area. So we always feel the Trump momentum here in Suffolk County. But, you know, when you get into New York City, it's hard to offset 8 million lunatics in New York City. Absolutely. And I think, listen, tomorrow's going to be a great night here. I think it'll be pandemonium. And I think the crowd, the energy will be off the charts over there in Uniondale at the old Islanders home. And they're revamping all that area over there. They're doing a lot of work. And I think Trump's going to come here, talk about small business, talk about what's happening in Long Island. And I think the energy will be off the chart tomorrow night. And of course, we'll be covering it right here on Real America's Voice. Grant, always great to have you on, and great job tonight. And to John and Steve and everybody at Real America's Voice, thank you very much. All right, live from Studio 6B, 20 minutes past the hour. We're glad you're in. Slick's here. He's going to do some sports. Rick Delgado's going to do the news, and President Trump will be here in Uniondale, Long Island tomorrow night over at the well, what are we calling it now? What is it?
You can call
still
it
the Nassau Coliseum. Huh? It's still the Nassau Coliseum. President Trump will be.
Yeah, it's some acronym.
So Slick, 65,000 ticket requests.
Unbelievable. Yep. And that its capacity, it held a little over 15,000, but they took some seats out because they put some fancy suites in there after the Islanders moved out. It's going to be impossible. The parking lot's going to be flooded. They closed the parking lot tonight at 8 o'clock a little while ago.
Really?
They're going to do a complete sweep of the Coliseum.
Yep.
They're going to reopen at 8 a.m. I mean, there's going to be cars down Hempstead Turnpike. There'll be cars. There'll be tents. There'll be, you name it, Winnebagos. But it's going to be, the people are going to enjoy it just being in there as a tailgate.
Yep.
I had an opportunity to go, but I got to do the show. And to me, I can't see getting there at 7, 8 in the morning, Big D. I can't kill
I can remember being a student at Hofstra, and one of the presidential debates, I think it was, when was I at Hofstra? I was there 90 to 94, so I guess it was Clinton. Who was it? Clinton, Bush?
and Perot.
They held one of the presidential deals at Hofstra.
I remember that.
It was kind of put Hofstra on the map.
I remember that.
And then it really kind of grew from there. But and I can remember the Secret Service coming in Hempstead Turnpike all the way from where you get off the Meadowbrook Parkway all the way to campus. Every block, Secret Service guys with guns,
Right.
3 here, next block, 3 here, every roof. I mean, all the way down.
Right.
The resources were, and that was just for a presidential debate.
Yeah, I know. Well,
You did have a sitting president, so
You had a sitting president there, yep, and it was wild.
I think part of his inspiration was Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman. They're good friends, and I think Bruce, said, "Come on, let's go." And of course, the local news channel, they're worried about how much is this going to cost the taxpayers with former President Trump coming,
of course.
right? And they got to shut down a couple of schools apparently, and they're all up in arms. The local news,
according to what I saw, that I guess they're letting the students of Hofstra out early. I think 1 o'clock is the cutoff for classes.
I'm sure.
Just because they know it's going to be.
They have to get to a quiet space somewhere, probably.
It's going to be very
Gotta
busy.
Go pay their student debt. Yeah. Thank you, Joe Biden.
Yeah, so I'm sure they need to get to a quiet space.
Exactly.
Over there. But
It'll be a wild time
I think it's going to be. I mean, I think the energy. I think it's going to be wild in that arena.
Yeah, you're going to.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I
Like
think
everything that comes to Long Island. Like when the Ryder Cup's going to be here next year. Oh my God! I mean, the energy for things like that on Long Island
Long Island's a good
are
place.
just it's just
It's a
fired
happy
up,
place.
man.
We laugh, but it is a good place.
I think it's going to be more what's going on in the parking lot. I think it's going to be like a tailgate party.
It could be a tailgate.
Is Harry Oates
right?
going to be there? No, is Harry
gonna be
going?
Is Harry going to be over there?
They're going to be there
Harry-
all day.
Harry's like, I got a link. I sit there and he's like, yeah, you can sit in the parking lot at Hofstra.
Oh, you're a
Across
guest
the
of Mr.
street.
Oates. We got your front row. The seats are at Jones Beach.
Jones Beach Theater.
It's
It's just 18 miles down the road.
12 miles away. You should be fine.
You can use your phone.
Yeah, should be good. So,
Oh, you know Harry. You must be in the front row. All the way over
yeah,
here.
front row.
I'm with Harry
Must be in the
Oates.
front row.
Bobby,
So, anyways, so the president tomorrow night. He was good with Sarah Sanders tonight. Really like Sarah Sanders. Covered a lot of stuff. Boy, it caught my attention listening to it driving in. He said he was talking about tariffs and putting 200% tariffs on Chinese cars that they want to. He said they think they're just going to come in here and sell these cars tax free. He goes, no, it's not happening. We're putting a 200% tariff on your cars, which makes them unsellable. And then he's paused and he said, and you wonder why I keep getting shot when I say things like that.
Right.
He said, right now there's leaders around the world going, this guy. He goes, but we have to do what we have to do.
Yeah.
We have to show strength, and we have to do what we have to do.
Yep.
And I was thinking, man, that's pretty rough talk there. But he's right. He's right. And this is why when he says, if I was still, we all know I won the 2020 election. If that had gone down the way it would, none of these things would have happened.
Hands down.
People were not going to test. I am not to be trifled with. And you damn well better know it. And they did know it. And they were not going to trifle with him. And they won't the next time either.
Nope.
And so when he says that, you think you're going to come in here and drop your cars in over here with all their cheap crap? Good luck. I'll make them unsellable in 2 seconds until we get a deal that's good for us. So,
well, I've got a breakdown of the case for tariffs. We can do in the next break if you want, since we are talking about that.
Is this clock right, Aaron? Okay. So we'll do it. We'll do it in the next block.
Yeah.
We'll do some news. We'll do some sports. We'll get going here. Now the president's town hall, and tomorrow night we'll cover in the president. What time is he supposed to start in Uniondale tomorrow? 7?
I think 7.
Yeah, I think 7. That's
All
what I
right,
heard.
7.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he's on either way,
It starts at 3, but he's coming on at 7.
Right, but if he's on time, he's still going to roll into 8, and if he's late, he's going to really roll into 8.
He's not going to. Have you seen the expressway? He's not getting through that.
Yeah, good luck getting down the Meadowbrook, even with your entourage.
Exactly.
Welcome to Long Island.
Welcome home.
Whitlock.
Your lights don't work so well here.
That's right.
All right, 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We'll get it going. News, sports, and everything else when we get back right after this.
Well, that's what happens when you light a cigar lighter away.
Get ready for the president.
It's great.
Yeah, Brian, sit over here.
You have to stand on a meteorizer for 18 hours.
Want to give him an IFB or he's okay?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, you want to dial up Marjorie now, or what? Do you
Let me call her.
We haven't even gotten into the show yet.
Oh, you just went live.
We've been live, but they just came to us. We've been doing just socials.
Because Charlie's coming up. You may want to just bang her, at least get her on call.
I mean, we literally haven't talked about anything yet, Harry.
Let me see where she's at. She may be.
We just ate and drank.
All right, if you're live on socials with us, just hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up.
Yeah, they're live during commercial break.
Oh, wonderful. Great.
They can't. The audience. I wonder if the audience has seen yet who's the special guest. They can't see in that yet. Oh, now they can. Oh, look out. Oh, look out.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, to see people in the chat. Harry's in the house.
Harry is in the house.
Did Harry bring tacos? Harry? No. Harry brought nothing, of course. Harry brought nothing but grief.
But it smelled like a good cigar.
We smell like a great cigar.
Harry smells like a cigar and didn't even bring any cigars. Big D, where did you get that slick shirt? I don't. This shirt. This is not a slick shirt.
It's a nice shirt.
Thank you very much.
Lightweight, protects you from the sun. It's good. Transitional season shirt.
Paging Hezbollah. Paging Hezbollah. Paging Hezbollah.
He's got the great seat over there. He always.
Did I hear slick? No. Harry, Harry didn't bring anything. No.
Harry, go get us some
Come on,
waters
Harry.
or something.
No, Harry's not a water boy. He's like Gunga Din.
There's
Come on, it's
nothing
Harry
in the
Oates.
fridge. There is 0 in the fridge.
The great Harry Oates.
Oh, the chat already. Oh, we love Brian. I love Brian. Oh, look at this.
Oh, we got guests.
Look at this.
Yeah,
Brian
boy.
Glenn is the best. J.C. Walker on YouTube. Okay.
Tell him how rare it is that we even allow a guest on the set.
Tweet
Is it
Potato
rare?
Damon,
Very
please
rare.
give me a shout out.
It is. Right?
it's
studio
that's
guest.
great. Is it rare?
I guess so boring.
20 seconds.
God, get out.
Our audience hates
Get out
guests.
of here.
They hate guests.
Oh,
They know
my
you.
goodness.
All right, here we go.
What are we doing?
There we go.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Tuesday night. Glad you're in. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's going to do some news. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Harry on the highway is now officially in the house as well. And look who he brought with him. Please welcome the live from Studio 6B.
Where's he at?
Where's he at? Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Please welcome Brian Glenn to the show.
This is an honor. This is
it's
I
not.
watch you guys. Yes, it is.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
I can't tell you how many times, because I go to bed early, but I'll watch this show and then I'll fall asleep. Not saying you make me fall asleep.
By the second segment,
We put you to
By
sleep. is what
sports,
you're saying.
I'm all asleep.
I bet.
Yeah. Well, we have that ability to put people to sleep. How are you?
I'm good. Good. Just went to the castle.
Ah, yes.
Met Gary.
Oheka Castle, for those of you watching who don't know, Oheka Castle, an absolute landmark here on Long Island.
I thought he was talking about White Castle. I thought Harry took the White Castle.
White Castle.
Also a Long Island landmark, White Castle.
Yeah.
Right, most people don't know what we're talking about.
No, we were doing a little shooting for Saving America.
Well, tell us about Saving America, because, man, I'll tell you, I got the first promo sent to me, and I swear to God, I'll show you on my phone. I sent to the Zen Master after I watched it, and I put clapping hands and said, bravo
Nice.
to whoever shot and edited that promo. That is a great promo. Tell us about this show.
We have some of the most amazing production here at Real America's Voice, but this is the brainchild of all those back at this studio there in Denver and West Palm, and we've covered all these rallies, all these events, and there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that I think people would be interested in. Maybe they are, maybe they're not, but it kind of shows how we cover everything, and we cover the rallies, we cover the events, and we let the cameras roll, very much like we're doing here tonight here at your studio. But it is truly an honor. You guys are, if you're probably one of my favorite shows to watch, because you get a little bit of everything. You get sports, you get the personalities, you get news, you get opinion, and you have fun. And I think that's what we lack in the conservative movement. Everything's so freaking serious about policies and the CR and all these bills. Well, you guys have fun with it, and I think that's what we need in this whole MAGA media sphere that we have right now. And I just want to congratulate you guys. You do have a show that's very entertaining and it's very informative.
Yeah, we appreciate that. I mean, we talked about, I've been doing this since 2015. I mean, Harry, we just came up with the idea on the day, turn the cameras and mics on and let's go and see what happens. And, since these guys have joined now going on 5 years, it's kind of always been our thing to say, people are getting hit over the head all day long, whether they're watching mainstream media or conservative shows where it's just nothing but policy. And it's great stuff, don't get me wrong, but they're just getting hit over the head all the time. And it's finally, by 8 o'clock, I just think our job is to try to go out there and be informative, but try to be as funny as we can and bring some humor to it and bring some light, kind of fluffy kind of stuff to it. So I appreciate that, people notice it. So
I noticed it from day one. And I was watching you when I was at another network, and I noticed it. And now that I'm here at Real America's Voice, I love it.
Well, we love having you here. And since you're here, let's talk some serious stuff for a second, because obviously, I ask you this question, and it's amazing because I'll say it, and then in the next breath, I'll say, well, of course he could imagine it. So my question is, could you imagine that you ever would have had a say? And you were there that faithful day two months ago. Did you ever think that day that you'd be putting the second attempt in front of these sentences?
No, I didn't realize it was happening when it was happening, because I thought this is surreal. Yeah. The gunshots I thought was fireworks. I didn't think it would be gunshots. So, Trump rallies traditionally should be the safest place in America. You've got every law enforcement agency out there. So when it unfolded live in front of an audience, it was shocking. We meet people from around the world. Believe it or not, we met a couple from New Zealand that was watching it unfold, and they could not believe that an American, former president, candidate for a Republican Party, was shot on live television. And then, of course, when I got the text message, we were sitting in Georgia the other day, and we said, oh, my goodness, are you kidding me? Again? And then I said, well, let's not tweet something yet. Let's confirm that this was an attempt assassination. It wasn't two gang members shooting it out near a donut shop or anything like that. And when we simply found out that it was true, I'm sitting here today in 2024, 49 days from the election, and I cannot believe, once again, we're talking about another assassination attempt on a president.
And sticking with the first one just for a second, I mean, we've been saying on this show, since it happened, we keep looking for that exit ramp to get off what I call the crazy train of conspiracy, because I don't want to be on the crazy train. No. I don't want to, think what we've been thinking. And Delgado is usually the one who's on the crazy train.
Pulling the horn.
And I'm usually not joining him. But, I mean, right from the jump on this first one, I just haven't found a reason to get off that crazy train. I've been looking for something that says to me, oh, okay, this is what I can't find it.
Right.
Yeah.
I cannot find it. None of it makes any sense.
None of it does. And I don't, even to this day, we don't actually know the truth. I mean, there's so much stuff that we don't know. And how can it happen again? Now, what's interesting enough is that second advance team that President Trump has was not in place until after Butler. So let's just say Butler didn't happen. This Secret Service agent that was several hundred yards in front of the president, kind of clearing the additional holes that he was going to play on, they wouldn't be there. That means that gunman might have been undetected. It might have been able to fire off several rounds in that AK-47. So thank God, in a way, that Butler did happen, so that we have the protocols in place to actually find that shooter in advance.
Yeah. But this one's even more egregious than the first, because the first one is like Damon said, you're looking for that. Well, this is how the kid was able to pull it off, and blah blah blah. Certain breakdowns, and he just kind of slipped through. This one now, when you look at the perpetrator, you're like, all right, I'm going to call shenanigans on this one. Mm-hmm. He's been overseas. He's been recruiting fighters to leave Afghanistan through Pakistan and join them in Ukraine. And where do they go from Ukraine? Well, they probably get a first-class ticket right back to the U.S. if they want. This guy has all the earmarks of an asset. I mean, and I found out today he wrote a book. Who would read a book from this guy? This guy wrote a book.
Oh, I didn't know that. He wrote a book.
He wrote a book. Talking about how Iran should go ahead and take out President Trump. This is amazing. All the stuff that this guy's been involved with. He's been attached to several news stories. He's been interviewed by Time Magazine, New York Times. I mean, you go down the list. It's like, wait, who does this guy know? He must know a bunch of people.
Do you have any fear, as Dan Bongino has floated the idea, and we talked about it last night? Do you have any fear that there's leak, mole, whatever word you want to put on it, not only inside possibly the Department of Justice or in the federal government, but on Trump, and more importantly on Trump's side?
I don't see why we can't
rule it out, right?
Can't rule it out. I'm looking for my Reynolds tinfoil to go ahead and make my hat over here. I'm not ruling that out. That's still on my bingo card. It's just too... Look, the guy camped out for what, 12 hours?
12 hours.
12 hours, had a sack of food, had ceramic plates, I guess, to protect himself. Obviously had a getaway vehicle, and God bless the guy who took the pictures.
It was a woman, yeah.
A woman.
Picture,
God bless her.
Can you imagine if that person would not have been there? We'd still be looking for that individual.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Nothing adds up, but it's 2024. Apparently, someone wants President Trump killed.
Yeah,
and it's scary to think that. Could we sit here and say, okay, I said last night, if you reverse the roles, and this was a Trump administration currently right now, and this was happening to the Democrat nominee,
oh boy,
I would imagine. Well, besides what the media would be doing. I could imagine a President Trump calling in his attorney general, his vice president, his director of Homeland Security, his director of the FBI, Secret Service, putting them in a room and saying, okay, this is going to stop. We're going to figure out what the hell's going on, why this has happened twice, and you better get some answers for me in the next 8 to 12 hours or you're all fired.
You're right.
And yet we get a tweet from the vice president saying, oh, I'm really glad that he's okay. Well, I sent the same kind of tweet. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Where is the president? Where is some kind of leadership in this? Just because they have TDS so bad, we can't get. I mean, there's just nothing going on here.
Yeah, he's got senioritis. He's on the way out. We all remember when we were in school, you had a couple of weeks left before you graduated, and you were no longer apart. That's where Joe Biden is at right now. He's melded in. He doesn't care. I say that lightly, but they really don't care. No. This is unheard of in American political history. I can't believe we're sitting here tonight talking about this. But here's another thing. This may not be the last one.
No. I don't think you could. I don't think you could say it is.
Look, if I was an advisor to the president, I probably shouldn't be saying this right now, but I want to say it. Stay at Mar-a-Lago. Put out some video messages, put out some Truth Socials, do some one-on-one interviews. But for the love of God, don't tour around the country doing rallies, jumping on the golf course. I know that we don't want that to stop this campaign, but at the same time, you're kind of endangering people that are around you. Your agents, your advisors, the media, and I love President Trump. I'm probably his biggest supporter. But at this point, I kind of want to just lay low, stay at Mar-a-Lago, say, see you on November 5th, go to the polls, vote for me. Good night, everybody. So long.
But unfortunately, he's going to the Alabama-Georgia game next week. Imagine that, in a full stadium, 80,000 people.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that scares me.
But he's a fighter. I mean, he's a fider.
Trump's going to be Trump.
He's going to be Trump, and he doesn't want this to stop him, and I totally get it. But on the other hand, man, I want him to be alive. Because, look, I know you're 0-2, and I know that was a meme that was going around. I'm against that. Because all it takes is one digit in front of that dash and game over. The American people, we're done. Democracy's done. This country's done. It just takes one loss on that. So we're not playing sports here. I know you're 0-2, but we can't afford to be 1-2. Yep. I'm a little conservative with that, but that's just my personal take.
I mean, listen, you're absolutely right. You know, we said it. When you dehumanize someone to the level that they continue to dehumanize him, whether it's him, his kids, his grandkids, to the point where his life has no meaning. I mean, the left and these people look at him and they say he shouldn't be breathing the same air I breathe. His life doesn't have as much meaning as mine. They dehumanize him to a point where the life almost doesn't matter.
We've watched those videos of all the Democrats calling for violence. Maxine Wall, all of them. We've seen that reel going around. How can you watch that and in the same breath say, well, it's because of Donald Trump's rhetoric, this is happening to him? The left is the most demonic, the divisive party we've ever seen in history. I mean, we've got people calling for bullets to his head, but yet it's President Trump's fault. We victimized Trump in all of this. It's his fault that people are shooting at him.
Victim blame.
Yeah,
it's like when they used to blame the woman for being raped based on what she was wearing. Well, she shouldn't have worn that short skirt or this or that. It's just victim blame.
Got what she deserved. Yeah.
All right, 17 till the hour, 43 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. We'll take a quick break, come back. Brian Glenn in studio. Slick's got sports, Delgado's got news. We'll do it all live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. All right, we're live in the socials. If you're watching on whatever you're watching on, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up, YouTube, Facebook, X, Rumble, whatever you're on. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Brian Glenn in studio. If you have a question for Brian Glenn, you want to put it in the chat.
Yeah, what are you doing here? No, I'm kidding.
What am I doing here? Harry, what am I doing here?
I don't know.
I got a schedule. I flew in from D.C., and I get this long text message of all these places I'm going today. All-American Burger, loved it.
Oh, come on, that's a
Massapequa.
Read me a double
better than that. Yeah,
he doesn't get better than that.
Oof.
Yeah, but they were.
Oh yeah.
So how many episodes are you going to? Is this like
This is the four.
You're
We're
just going to do episodes as you have them, or do you have a set amount you want to do, or?
No, we're kind of this is episode 4 that we're shooting right now. So we're trying to do it where you shoot one week and you air it the next, but we're about a week behind on that. The editing's amazing, as you can see. It does take some time to put it together. This particular episode, I think, will be a combination of Vegas and New York.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
We're supposed to go to Vegas. Did you hear about that one?
Here we go.
Yes,
here we go.
Is this the story?
Here we go.
Yeah. Damon lost a bet.
I did not lose a bet.
And he's taking me and Slick over here to the Sphere.
Yeah.
And,
Well, unfortunately,
Vegas
that was
to celebrate.
the UFC at the Sphere was last weekend.
But that's okay. They have more.
okay.
They're going to have more there.
Tom
so it'll be
Jones is
fun.
going to be there. We're going to go.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
we
get
wanna
you
go see
tickets to
Tom
that.
Jones.
What's new, pussycat?
That place is amazing.
Yeah, here's.
I've heard.
I was out there with
I can't wait to get there.
I was out there the weekend they had the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
You should see the people walking around for that. My God.
Can they still walk?
Yeah, well, no. I think there's still a haze of marijuana over the city of Las Vegas. My goodness. Well, I'm just glad to be here. You guys got an amazing studio. Good. You got all the bells and whistles here.
Yeah, it's our little home. We like it. We like it.
Don't ask for a bottle of water, though.
Yeah, don't
Now the chat's all reminding me that I lost a bet. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
he did lose the bet. He knows it.
The deep
It's
end
okay.
here now.
Aaron, you be quiet.
She hangs up real quick. She's like, I'm just kidding. Click.
It's like,
All right, we want to talk about where we are in this race, 50 days out?
Yeah, we can do that. I like the some of the. I'm not a big believer in polls.
Yeah.
But I do think that Trump has a sizable lead.
I
really do.
I do too.
Now, I
I
think they're
agree.
going to steal it. I think they're going to try and steal it. But I do think. I mean, I go off the Uber index.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Slick's going to do some sports. Delgado's going to do some news. Harry on the highway in the studio. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Brian Glenn joins us live in studio. What a pleasure to have him here. Of course, his brand new show, what is Saving America?
Saving America.
Saving America is going to be airing, and I guess is airing, and will continue to be airing right here on Real America's Voice. First episode was a Thursday night.
Yeah, we kicked Grant Stinsfield off the air for one night. He's a great guy, by the way.
He is. We were just
the
talking to
chat
him.
lit up. They thought this was replacing Grant, and I had to go on there and say, no, he's coming back. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But he had something to do, so we plugged it in on that time slot. But you can still go to our Rumble page, I believe, and that episode 1 is up.
And I tell you, I haven't watched the episode yet, and I will. But I saw the promo. Man, it was just fantastic.
My favorite part about doing all of this is the trolls. I like the protesters, and I get my fair share.
I'll bet you do with the miles that you cover. Yeah,
I get my fair share of people yelling at me. And this past week, we were in Philadelphia for the debate, and there was a couple of trolls out there that gave Harry on the highway an earful as well. Well, they were tearing him up. Well, they loved
They know
Harry.
who he was?
Oh,
was Harry supposed to get him tickets to something?
He was walking over their video and some segments for us, and they lit him up too. But that's one of my favorite parts. But it also showing people it's a lot of work to put this on. And Real America's Voice does a fantastic job. Everyone back in master control, everyone behind the cameras, and then of course the travel, and then all of the preset with the cameras and all of that. It is an adventure, and I think that the viewers will enjoy seeing what it takes to put a rally on the air.
oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Saving America right here on Real America's Voice with Brian Glenn. Well, we're, I don't know, we in the 40s yet? 50 days out? 51 days out from this... 49 days out from this election.
Wow.
49.
It's going to go fast.
We've talked, I think we're in agreement with your theory of we don't really trust the polls, and we've seen a lot of polls. We like to look at the Vegas odds, where the real money's going, because we think that's probably more accurate than actually any of these pollsters. But it seems like right now, and you can correct me, it wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong about almost everything, but it seems like the polls that had Trump doing well in 2020, Emerson, Rasmussen, couple of the other ones seem like they have him doing well now. And some of the others that kind of skewed more for Biden have Harris doing well now. So in the end, I don't know what the hell any of them mean. What do you think they all mean?
Well, I think this whole plus or minus 2 or 3, if you notice, all these polls are very, very close. 49-51, 50-48. They're always right there.
Right.
And I'm going to pull a page out of the Mike Lindell playbook. They want you to be conditioned that this thing is neck and neck. So on election night, when they actually maybe tilt the scales to one side, it becomes more believable. You go, oh, dadgummit, field goal to the left, just missed it by an inch.
Yep.
I think the support for the American people is there. I think he's probably, this is going to sound crazy, and you guys can hit me if you think I'm wrong, 70-30. I think the American people overwhelmingly support President Trump.
I do.
Well,
Now,
that's in line with Mark Cuban's poll. 70-30.
The one he did.
Believe it or not, the one that he threw up, and then he quickly took it down when he's like, I'm getting hammered here.
Yeah. And you know what? President Trump talks about this as well. When people go in to vote, they'll go in and say, I'm not going to vote for President Trump. There's no way I'm voting for President Trump. They go into the booth, boop, President Trump, and they walk out. So when the media asks them, well, who did you vote for? They say, none of your business. Right. I think people are afraid to answer the true question of who they're voting for. Therefore, I think it does keep his numbers down low. But at the end of the day, I mean, I've literally traveled just about every state, done hundreds of rallies, talked to hundreds of thousands of people on the ground for the most part. They all love Trump. I don't see Harris signs anywhere. Yeah. I don't see bumper stickers anywhere. I don't see any ground support for Kamala Harris. I just don't. Yeah. And so I have to believe that he is actually leading in the public poll of opinion without all these pollsters. But it is going to come down to November 5th and turn out.
Well, let me play devil's advocate for you, because there was a lot of people in 2020 who said, I've never seen parades like this. I've never seen crowds like this. I've never seen car parades like this in California and New York and all these.
Even Arizona had a big parade.
So are we falling victim to the same, I've never seen so many yard signs as this and all this. I mean, is that the same thing?
Maybe.
Or they're going to have to keep the machines off a lot longer than the 5 hours that they used to grab what they needed.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, he likes to throw out there, make it too big to rig. I think this is going to be where they would have to be like, look, how did we get 400,000 people to vote when there's only 400 million people to vote when there's only 330 million in the country, and maybe 60% of those are voting age.
And he got the most votes ever as a sitting president.
Right.
And you're telling me that Joe Biden, who never did any rallies, and if he did one, it was at a middle school in hula hoops 6 feet apart during COVID, that he got more votes than President Trump that was putting 40, 50, 60,000 people in airport hangars. Remember, during COVID, we had to do these rallies outside. I pray that we have more eyes on the election, more attorneys on the ground, more people watching these polls, so the shenanigans that we saw in 2020 simply cannot happen again. And if they say, well, more people voted for Kamala Harris that actually lives in Michigan, I hope that throws up red flags.
Right. It should, and it should have in the last election, but they refused to look at it. CBS, as a matter of fact, I got a couple clips of them. They're even having trouble finding Harris supporters in Nevada. Now, Nevada is supposed to be a big state. The Democrats think they can pull Nevada. According to this, cut number 9, they can't find any Harris supporters. Check this out.
We had so much fun. But what was really incredible is in every single restaurant of the people willing to talk to us, we could only find one Harris supporter in every restaurant. And we left no stone unturned. I approached every single person.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not only that.
They're like, cut the commercial, cut the commercial, quick, cut the commercial. Who knew she was going to say this?
Yeah.
Who told her?
And then here is cut number 16, where CBS actually did find that one Harris supporter that they were looking for. This is cut 16. Check this out.
What issue is most important to you?
I'm extremely concerned about the border.
Illegals, they gotta go.
People are coming here seeking asylum.
Baloney. They're coming here for the freebies.
When people talk about immigration, they're thinking we're saying we don't want immigrants of any kind, and that's not what people are saying. People are saying that there are people who have come here legally. Why do they get pushed aside to allow people who have not even worked one day in our country, have not paid into the system?
I took my brisket and mac and cheese with me to catch Ken Lasker with a to-go order. How closely are you watching this election?
Oh, very closely.
He was the only Harris supporter we met at lunch, even though Washoe County has historically been pretty politically split.
There you go. They can't find them.
President Trump says, right? I mean, when you listen to those ladies talk, they fall under the banner of the party of common sense, because that's all that is.
Yeah,
that's all it is. You know, and if someone truly is undecided at this point, I'm not sure I want them to vote in U.S. elections, because I don't know what you're voting for. Yeah, do we all? Which, by the way, I don't think gas is all that. I mean, it looks expensive. It was $179 when President Trump left office. But I was in Detroit, Michigan, of all states that have seen the worst economic downturn for manufacturing jobs. $4.78 for gas.
Oof.
I don't see how those people are making it.
Yeah, I don't either.
And so, how can somebody in Michigan continue to vote for these policies?
But isn't that kind of the thing, though? You can go through the demographic blocks like that. How does any Jewish person vote for a Democrat?
True.
How does any African American vote? I mean, look at what President Trump said. What do you have to lose? That was 4 years ago. Look at some of the prominent African American leaders say, I'm getting sick of the Democrats only coming around every 4 years. So I mean, there's so many of those voting blocks that you could say, well, how do you vote for them still?
I don't know. I mean, look at the open borders that we have. And it's interesting. It's now turned, I think, more into the economy, to be honest with you. It used to be maybe 8 months ago, it was like the border was the number one issue. I think it's the economy now, for sure, because people are suffering.
All right, we'll talk more about it. We'll talk about the polls. We'll talk about more where we are in this election. Brian Glenn's here. Slick will do some sports. Delgado's going to get to some news. Aaron and Fran holding it down live from Studio 6B. That's a quick hour 1, hour 2 coming up right after this. All right, live on socials. If you're on wherever you're on, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up. We appreciate you being there. Got questions, put them in the chat. Feel like a motorboat parade would be fun.
Oh, I love the motorboat.
Damon, how's it going? Hello, Brian. Bucky's fan says on YouTube.
Bucky's fan. I like that Georgia Bulldog helmet you have back there.
Oh, the dogs. Yeah, somebody sent me. A follower sent that to me.
It's cool.
Yeah.
You got the Donald Trump crack pipe.
Broke Spoke on YouTube. What's going on, everybody?
This is great.
Down.
No, I think what you guys do is such a niche, man, because not a whole lot of people can do this type of show and incorporate policy, humor, personality, opinion, because people try it and it looks
awkward.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Very few people, and there's some people, and I'm going to call them out, but they on other networks, they try and do this, and it just falls flat because it becomes too comical. It's goofy.
Right.
And we've also lasted. We're in year 5, so our timing is pretty good because we've been doing this so long.
Yeah, that's it.
For the most part. Once in a while we screw up, but we're good.
Live with Tommy Viper on YouTube says, Big D, please tell Brian hello from me. So Tommy Viper says hello, Brian.
Tommy Viper says hello.
Tommy Viper. What a great name.
Yeah.
Damon, ask Slick about the Eagles game. What happened with the Eagles game?
Whoa, we had the game. We
goodness.
bet on that game last night, but you know what?
Oh, that's right. You guys were losers last night.
I'll take that twice on Sunday. I'll lose
That
that
was a
anytime.
great
I hate the
Losers.
Eagles.
What were
That
you
was
laying,
a
5.5?
Great finish.
Yeah, but they lost outright. 22-20.
Damon, you think Harris was born that stupid, or did it sneak up on her slowly? Rush did it the best. You guys are a close second. I don't know. Let's not get crazy.
That was miles ahead of us.
Let's not get crazy.
I've sent several texts, and I'm trying to find out where. Oh, we actually, me do the look.
Raymond on Facebook says Spooky Nuke tomorrow, Damon. You going to Spooky Nuke? I was just there not too long ago. That's a great place.
Wow.
That is a great place
Like that.
for all the things they do there, all sports. What a facility that is. You like that place, Delgado? You went there a couple times,
Yeah,
right?
you liked
there
it
a bunch of
Delgado.
times.
That was great.
You said you liked it.
I'd like to open one of those around here.
Out at
That place prints money. Printing money. That's what they do.
You know what? There is an area out in Calverton. You could probably do that at the
Sweet
old
Potato says,
airfield.
Brian Glenn, I love you.
Oh, tell Sweet Potato. Hello.
It's tweet potato. Not
Pass the
sweet,
butter.
is it tweet potato?
All right, hour 2, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Glad you're in. Real America's Voice. Slick's going to do some sports. Delgado's got some news. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Brian Glenn, yes, in studio with us tonight. We appreciate that. Harry on the highway here as well. Brian was, he's been all over, but he was in New York shooting some scenes for his brand new show, Saving America, which, of course, you can check out on Real America's Voice, and I'm sure you can check out on all socials. You said Rumble, right?
Yeah, I believe it's on Rumble. Yep. The replay. You can go to our Rumble page. You'll see the episode
So
one.
check out. Make sure you keep an eye out for Saving America right here on Real America's Voice. Lots to talk about in hour 2, and we've been talking to Brian about where we are in this election. You know, the thing that caught my attention the last couple weeks was the New York Times Siena poll that came out, and everybody kind of said, whoa, Trump up 48-47. And for me, the headline of Trump being up wasn't the thing that caught my attention. What caught my attention out of that is when you digged a little deeper into the what they asked, 68% of people said they felt like this country really needed real change. That's a staggeringly high number for a question like that for people to answer.
Yeah.
And of those 68%, 64% of them said, we don't feel that Kamala Harris represents any change. There's no separation between her and Joe Biden. And then another 60-something% said, we would really need to know more about her policies before we feel like we could pull the trigger for her, even though we would tend to lean towards voting Democrat. That had to be a real eye-opener for the campaign. Now, this was before the debate, which I want to get your opinion on what you think the debate night, if that moved the needle in either direction for either one of them, because I think a lot of people had a kind of visceral reaction as the night unfolded, and then took 24 or 48 hours and said, well, maybe we need to rethink this. So, first one, how does she ever represent herself as real change to that 65% who felt like the country needed it?
Well, her tour bus says a new way forward. That's the big slogan on her tour bus as she's driving around the country. So I'm thinking, okay, well, what's this new way? What does it look like? Barack Obama was hope and change. When he said he was going to radically transform this country, that's when the red flag went up in my mind back in 2008. So I don't know how she does it, because as of lately, when you go to the website, there's no policies on there. Or if he just does a cut and paste for MAGA, no tax on tip. Well, I'll do that too.
Or from Joe Biden.
Or from Joe Biden. Exactly. I don't know how she does that. She's a very poor communicator in letting the people know that there is a path and what that path actually looks like. I think that's her biggest disconnect. And like I said earlier, I mean, I don't know where you're at in this country if you don't know who's best to turn things around. President Trump, proven track record. Look at his 4 years, without the exception of the 2 crappy years. The first, was Paul Ryan. He can only do so much in the House and get things done. But Kamala Harris, I think she's kind of this 30,000-foot elevation messaging that's just kind of vague, and it's kind of warm fuzzies, and it's like we're all together, and it's the talking points we've heard from Democrats for 25 years. We're going to kitchen table, policies. We're going to build from the bottom up. All that bull crap that American people have heard for so long. But what does that look like? And right now, people are struggling. You know this. People can't pay their bills. And I don't think she provides any solutions to solve the problems in this country. I just don't.
And of course, this is why we detest the media, even though I guess we're somehow kind of a part of it. But just pull up that cut one from yesterday, because that's a great lead in what Brian just said. about the 30,000 foot just kind of like nonsense when she spews. And of course, they've kept her around. They've kept her away from every camera they can. But she ended up sitting down with this guy from some local place. And this is what we're talking about. Here's the first question. Roll the question, Aaron.
When we talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people, what are one or two specific things you have in mind for that?
All right, so stop it. When we talk about bringing down prices for the American people, what are two specifics you have in mind to do that? Now, that is not asking the quantum theory of relativity. That is not that is asking very basic, what are you going to do? Two things to bring down prices. Now, if that's me, I'll ask that same question. There's nothing wrong with that question. But if she's sitting across from me or from you or from anybody else that on this network, I would think, if she starts saying this, roll it, Aaron.
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid. My mother raised my sister and me. She worked very hard.
Maybe I'd let this go to about here.
She was able to finally save up enough money to buy our first house when I was a teenager. I grew up in a community of hardworking people, construction workers and nurses and teachers. And I try to explain to some people who may not have had the same experience, but a lot of people will relate to this. I grew up in a neighborhood of folks who were very proud of their lawn.
Yeah.
Okay, stop it.
Lawn.
At that point,
yeah,
I'm jumping in.
Did she say lawn?
Lawn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Proud of their lawn. Lawn.
Proud of their lawns.
Green lawn.
Yeah.
You got a problem with that, Brian? You don't like your lawn? I got a great lawn.
Hey, I pass on grass, all right?
The question was, but this is, this is why you say all we get from her, because she's allowed to do it.
Yeah, they don't push back on it at all. If that was President Trump, they've already stopped her, like you said, and drilled down and said, what do you mean by that?
Right.
They just let her roll.
It's just crazy that she, in this interview, 6 questions, about 12 minutes, showed you exactly why she's not doing any 12-minute interviews if they can help it, because this is a word salad disaster all the way through.
And it's amazing. A lot of what she says in this interview was exactly what she said in the debate. They were rehearsed. It didn't matter if it coincided with the question. Doesn't matter. She's got her script and she's sticking to it.
The script, you touched upon something. I know you guys have talked about this, about ABC. No, if that in fact is true, because you're taking someone that is literally hid in Joe Biden's basement for no press, no long format interviews, didn't have time to get polished up, ready for showtime, and you mean to tell me on the Super Bowl of media, the biggest platform, the debate in front of the most politically savvy person we've had in American history, she came out looking pretty good.
Sounds like William F. Buckley.
She did.
Really?
Right. Because I feel, my personal opinion, not the network, that she had at least the topics or questions in advance so she can rehearse. 100%. There's no way. That's like sticking a rookie out of Kennesaw State and putting him in the Super Bowl and he's throwing for 5 touchdowns. It's not happening. It's just not happening.
Yeah, he's got the playbook.
Yeah.
He's got the other team's playbook. There's no way that naturally happened the way it unfolded in front of our eyes. If she was that gifted, I said this on debate night coverage, post debate night. If she was that gifted a politician as what we saw in that debate, she should be on Fox News every single day. She should be on any network where she can reach people who normally wouldn't vote for her, because she made the case and sounded like Barack Obama on debate night.
Right.
I agree.
Why would you hide that from anything on any night?
Yeah, I'm with you.
And we're supposed to buy that was just naturally how it came out.
Yeah. I take it back to the only person that she beat at the debate was Kamala Harris from the day before. Because everybody thinking up until that debate night thought of Kamala Harris as this type of person. She showed up and did this. The only person she beat was her old self. She didn't beat Donald Trump, because as we're finding out from people right after or as they do that tracking, I don't know how that tracking stuff works, but the Republicans and the independents were tracking pretty much on the same course throughout the entire debate, which was odd. And then you couple that with the fact that, of course, he's debating 3 people as opposed to just one. she did not win that debate. Even what's his name? Who's the guy with the white hair? He's an older dude. I just saw him the other day. Even he's saying in hindsight. No, not him.
What are you talking about?
A different hoe.
Oh, I'm looking for it. I had the video here. No, it wasn't Victor David Anton. It was a different dude.
Hugh Hewitt.
Yes. Hugh Hewitt.
There you go.
Oh,
that was
hey,
him.
good guess, Big D.
Even he goes, in hindsight, Trump won this debate, and he's not a Trump fan. He's not a conservative. So it's kind of interesting to see how when you let this stuff shake out, you start to realize that maybe our confirmation bias, what we expected, she overperformed.
Yeah, we set our bar very low for this.
Yeah. Right.
We really did. If she just stood upright for 90 minutes, then we were going to give her a standing ovation.
Right.
So she exceeded our expectations.
Right. And Trump didn't exceed, because we want him to be our Aaron Judge, home run every time he opens the mic.
Yeah.
And
we wanted the Joe Biden-esque knockout.
Right.
Into
And
retirement.
he did have that
Take him to
last
the
line
dog track.
about, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago, which I think he could have led with that.
Yeah.
Well, that was the first question out of the box by David Muir, the only time he was a reasonable reporter. And, he went into like tariffs and something in his first answer. That first question was the question he could have looked in the camera and just absolutely nailed. I mean, listen, he missed opportunities.
Yeah.
Let's not make it that he didn't, because he did. He got into the dogs and cats thing. He got into tariffs right away. When that first question was really the essence of what he wanted to pitch the whole entire night. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?
Yeah, you're right.
And he made it in his closing statement, but at that point, she had rattled him. He was kind of all over the place.
Right.
Did you notice her voice was really shaky in the very beginning?
Very. We mentioned it on stream.
Yeah, I thought she was going to go over. Yeah, she was very shaky.
Yeah,
Right
scared,
away.
nervous.
So let me ask you this. You're seeing a lot in conservative media right now from the kind of very conservative side that's starting to get worried that because I feel like the president has been very disciplined in 2024. Very disciplined. Very selective in where he's gone, what outlets he's gone to talk to. He's done Lex Friedman podcasts. He's done all these podcasts, these long-form interviews. Very disciplined. In the Biden debate, he was very disciplined. Now people are starting to get worried. We're getting the I hate Taylor Swift tweet. You're seeing people with him on the plane that some of us might question why this person is in the inner circle. Are you at all worried that we're starting to get back to the kind of 2020, maybe not as disciplined Trump in the last 49 days here?
It's been such a long... I don't think we stopped campaigning, to be honest with you. He did 39 rallies after the 2020 election, up until the point where he formally announced that he was running for president. So from literally after the election, he's been in campaign mode. It might be a little fatigue. Personally, I think the American people are fatigued from all of this whole elections process. So does that weigh into maybe his demeanor getting a little off centered from your point, from messaging? Perhaps, maybe. But I think at the end of the day, he knows that he's got the policies. He has his unique style of delivery. I mean, it's all rally. It's rally talking points is what it is. I mean, a lot of things he said the other night at the debate was straight out of a rally, just formatted into answering a question. To your 2 points there, I think that as we get closer to the election, we need to drill, and especially after the events on Saturday on the golf course, we just need to make sure we stay on policy. The American people do not care about dogs and cats. I got to be honest, they don't. They care about if they're going to be able to, is their electricity bill going to be lower 6 months from now? He says they will be. Is food going to be lower? He says it will be. Electricity, he says he will be. So those are the things that we need to focus on. I think he's. I mean, look, he's President Trump. He knows. I think he knows what he's doing. He's running great campaigns, but it's been a long campaign season for sure.
It certainly has. All right, live from Studio 6B, 13 to the hour. We'll do some news and sports when we get back. Coming up on a Tuesday night, Brian Glenn with us in studio. We're back right after this.
You got 2 reads in here, Damon.
Okay. All right, if you're watching on socials, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up. Welcome on in. Glad you're there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, whatever you're watching on, X, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. Real Prince Doll says, Lindsey Graham, Mike Johnson, don't trust any of them. Well, I guess we could get into the CR. We haven't talked too much about that. Now it's back, I guess, for a vote. Is that what I'm hearing?
Tomorrow? Yep.
Is that what it's going to be?
Yeah, I think it's going to a vote tomorrow. It was supposed to be last week, and then they punted it. I've called, and I don't know. Well, yeah, perhaps, but I mean, even if she can just call in, it's better than being at home with the video. Just yeah. That's what I was messing right now.
What time you guys heading there tomorrow, Harry?
Yeah, what time?
Okay. How are you going to get into the Coliseum, though? That's going to be a mob scene.
It's Harry.
Oh, it's
He just shows a little chest hair. He's in the door.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm here.
Hey.
Oh, hang on.
Remember Harry from back in the day?
All right, so I got what do I got here? I got no, that's the old one.
Responding. Even just a phone call. I mean, if I know she can't get in front of a video, but just for video, but she can just get me an audio.
Birch Gold, got it.
Well, I tracked the phone. I think she's out to dinner.
AMAC, got it.
I did the locator on it. All right. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, I try calling. I'll try calling again right now. All right. Bye. All right.
Delgado's UFO Uber will drop Harry off at the Coliseum. But we can't see you.
Gilman.
The wide shot, we could see you. Yeah, you could be like Gilman. There's Harry. You could be Gilman. Actually, you're standing in front of the logo now. I think I'd rather see the logo.
No, Harry's good there.
Very tough.
Zen master is.
Very tough.
Yeah. The tag team.
How'd you like the castle? Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
That's an
yeah. It's
All right, 17 past the hour. Sounds like the blues. Let me talk to you about our friends over at Birch Gold. Did you know there's nearly $1 trillion of infrastructure and pandemic funds yet to be spent? Great. That's right. There's a massive amount of money that the lame duck administration is going to push hard to spend in their last few months. If Biden can push out these funds, we could see another prolonged inflation surge, just like during COVID, and I'm sure you remember the terrible effects that high prices had on Americans. But there is hope. A surge in prices can be beaten. And that, of course, is a gold IRA from our friends over at the Birch Gold Group, and that's the ultimate inflation hedge for your savings. To see how to protect your IRA or 401k, get a free information kit on gold by texting the word America and send it to 989898. Plus, Birch Gold's special offer has been extended through the election. When you make any purchase with Birch Gold, they're giving away free Trump silver coins. These unique collectibles depict President Trump defiantly raising his fist after the first attempt on his life. I have to add in the word first now, amazingly. Don't miss your chance to own this one-of-a-kind piece of history preserved in a silver coin. Protect your savings from Biden's spending spree and get your free Trump silver coins. Text the word America, send it to 989898. Do it today. That's America. And send it to the number 989898 with our friends from Birch Gold. Well, you know, there's an organization that still backs Obamacare. Oh, yes, there is. Gun control. Oh, yes, they do. And extreme transgender policies that endanger our kids. They claim to be bipartisan, this group, but by the last 95% of their donations last year went to Democrats. Who am I talking about? Well, it's AARP. And they don't represent the values of American seniors. Fortunately, there is a conservative alternative, and that, of course, is the great people over at AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. They proudly champion Americans' right to free speech, religious liberty, the Second Amendment. AMAC defends parents' rights to protect their children and is fighting to restore America's election integrity with more than 2 million members nationwide. AMAC is pro-faith, pro-family, and pro-freedom. Become an AMAC member today. I encourage you to do so. They're great people, great work, great messaging, great stuff they do. Send AARP a strong message that they don't represent conservative seniors. Join AMAC today, amac.us/Studio6B, amac.us/Studio6B. I mean, it's less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, and Starbucks stinks. So go over to amac.us/Studio6B, sign up, amac.us/Studio6B. Great work, great stuff by our friends over at AMAC. Live from Studio 6B, 20 minutes past the hour on a Tuesday night, Real America's Voice. Did you guys see what J.D. Vance put out today?
No.
Well, he put out, I saw it on Twitter. It was actually an article that I guess has been reprinted in a couple places. And it's entitled, Another Trump Assassination Plot, the Media's Double Standard Strikes Again. And, I mean, this is worth every word of what he wrote. If you haven't seen this, I think I put it on our socials early this morning. He says Donald Trump nearly lost his life again on Sunday. Again. An armed gunman waited for him in the bushes. He brought a GoPro camera to record it. A Secret Service agent spotted the barrel of the gun through the fence and fired at the gunman. The gunman fled, was then caught, and now we slowly learn about him and his motive. And then he says, President Trump is my running mate and my friend. But more importantly, he is a father and a grandfather to people who love him very much. I want him to have many more years with his family. And selfishly, I'd like many more with my own. I admire President Trump for calling for peace and calm. The rhetoric is out of control. It nearly got Representative Steve Scalise and other members of the House Republican caucus killed on a Northern Virginia baseball field a few years ago. It nearly got Donald Trump killed twice. But I want to say something about Sunday's news and how it illuminates the difference between vigorous debate and violent rhetoric. Here is what we know so far, he says. Kamala Harris has said that democracy is on the line, quote unquote, in her race against President Trump. The gunman agreed with that and used that exact same phrase. He had a Biden-Harris bumper sticker on his truck. He was obsessed with Ukraine's fight for democracy, quote unquote, and absorbed many unhinged views about Russia-Ukraine's war. His name is Ryan Routh. He donated 19 times to Democratic Party causes and 0 to Republican ones. How do you think the Democrats and their media allies would respond if a 19-time Republican donor tried to kill the Democrat Party's candidate for president? The question answers itself. For years, Kamala Harris's campaign surrogates have said things like Trump has to be eliminated. And now they have their media allies responded to the second assassination attempt against Donald Trump in as many months. How did they respond? NBC News called the attempted assassination a golf club incident. The Los Angeles Times told us, quote, Trump targeted at golf club. USA Today's top of the fold headline on Monday was Hope in America. And the paper published a preposterous letter to the editor arguing that Trump, quote, brings these assassination attempts on himself. CNN's Dana Bash, who bizarrely accused me of inciting a bomb threat, said Monday that Harris' campaign rhetoric didn't motivate Routh, even though he echoed that rhetoric explicitly. The double standard is breathtaking. That's just a little bit from J.D. Vance this morning. You should read the entire thing word for word. It's worth it. He's absolutely right. He schooled Dana Bash on Sunday with exactly how to deal with a propagandist who comes on camera and acts like they're a journalist. But every word of this is exactly on the money.
Yeah, it is. And we, and it's all true. I mean, we've seen it. We've witnessed all. It's the way they cover everything.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what he does. It's not good enough, not reported. And all the problems here in America are all President Trump. The inflation's all because of Trump. The immigration, well, it's all because of President Trump. They just shift. They're masters in shifting the narrative.
Yep, right.
It's his fault they're shooting at him.
Yes.
His fault.
Amazing.
He ends this by saying, I'm asking all of us to reject censorship. Reject the idea that you can control what other people think and say. Embrace persuasion of your fellow citizen over silencing them, either through the powers of big tech or through moral blackmail. I think this will make our public debate much better. But there is something else. When you reject censorship, you reject political violence. Embrace censorship, and you will inevitably embrace violence on its behalf. The reason is simple. The logic of censorship leads directly to one place. For there is only one sure way to silence a human being permanently. Put a bullet in his brain.
Oof.
I mean, that is strong stuff from J.D. Vance.
Brutally honest.
Right?
That's unfortunately where we are, though.
But he's right.
That's the craziest part, that we are actually at this point that people just a few years ago would be like, oh, that's insane. Nobody would ever do that. But there you have it. The left is constantly doing it. They're constantly gaslighting. They're constantly saying, even out of the White House itself, even the press briefing room. I don't know. Did you guys see what
Peter Doocy
Peter Doocy confronted Karine Jean-Pierre? Because all they do is call Trump a threat to democracy, a threat to this country, a threat everywhere, and he shouldn't be president. What else are you telling people who are on your side?
Yeah.
We need to stop him. It doesn't matter. The ends justify the means, basically, is what they're saying.
Yep.
That's the disgusting.
When you hear people say, well, I just don't like the language President Trump uses.
Right.
Well, let me give you an example. Is it okay to call him a racist for the last 6 years? Call him xenophobic, homophobic, a racist, a bigoted, a rapist. I mean, you go down they've called this man every word you can call him.
Yeah.
But when he calls them out on stuff and maybe uses some choice words, they clutch their pearls and go, I can't believe he's saying that.
Yeah. We can call him Hitler, though. Even his son-in-law being a Orthodox Jew, his daughter converted his grandkids Jewish. I mean, but no, that's fine though.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
And Karine Jean-Pierre was offended by the question.
Mm-hmm.
She was upset that he asked a question because I can't believe you would. I reject
your question is dangerous.
Yes.
She said in the way you're asking it.
Oh my goodness!
All right, 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this. Let's do some quick sports, and we'll do some quick news here.
Yeah, I'll just give you some quick scores.
Before we get to Charlie Kirk's event. Charlie Kirk's event tonight, live. We're going to cover it here on RAV, so as soon as Charlie takes the stage, we're actually going to throw to Charlie, and we'll be done for the night.
It's an early night for you.
Just a few minutes. I think he's going to, probably take the stage in about 15 minutes or so. So we'll do one more segment.
Isn't it amazing at some of these rallies, you start on one day and you end on the next?
Yeah.
In Montana, I'm like, we ended at 1:00 in the morning East Coast time. It was Mountain time.
You're doing a great job, Brian. I've caught on RAV the rallies. You've been fantastic. Right on the spot, really on your feet.
I appreciate it.
I really enjoy watching. It's nice to get the opportunity to meet you.
Boy,
I appreciate
the raw emotion that you had on that first in Butler. Was when he stood up and you took us for an emotional ride.
What's interesting, and I appreciate you saying that. I try to make people feel like they're at the rallies, really. But the hardest event I ever had to do for President Trump was the one he left Joint Base Andrews. When the day that Biden got inaugurated and he flew back to West Palm Beach.
I remember that.
Boy, A, it was freezing. B, it was the raw emotion because we all knew this election was stolen, and he was getting on that plane for the last time and flying back to Florida, and just it was just everything over the last 4 years all came together. The election, all of all the controversy around the election, January 6th, it was all that, and to see that man fly back home, it was hard to do that broadcast. Because I felt really bad for him. The American people were.
You felt bad for yourself too.
I felt bad for myself.
We're part of this.
Yeah, we are.
We're all losing. On
this this is why we do it. We don't. I mean, we genuinely care for this country.
Sure.
I mean, we want the best for this country, and I don't know what we do if this election is stolen. I don't know how we reversed another 4 years. if we don't win this election, I don't think Republicans will ever win again.
Yeah.
I think day one, when he won in 2016, they said, okay, we're going to make sure that never happens again. And we're going to develop the most organized grassroots effort to make sure that these elections, and I know we're streaming on social media. I hope we don't get in trouble for this, but I just think they want to make it where Republicans can never win again.
That's the goal.
Scary proposition.
I mean, I don't think that's a far out statement.
No, it's not.
I
don't think that's a far out
and
statement.
you see what happened in Arizona with Kerry Lake and all of the printers not working. They worked on Friday, but not on Tuesday. It's like, what changed?
I've been saying I'm interested to get your view on this. Well, let's open the segment with this. Sure. All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, on a Tuesday night. Slick and Delgado are here. Aaron and Fran holding it down. We'll try to get to some sports and some news here in a second. Brian Glenn's been joining us for most of the night, and it's been a pleasure to have him in studio.
Thank you.
Yes.
Of course, to keep a lookout for Saving America right here on RAV, Brian's new show. It's going to be, and it is fantastic. The first episode's already out. Is the first and second, or just the first?
The first one's out. The second one, any day now, we're going to release it. Just doing some editing.
So let me ask you. We were talking during the commercial break, and you brought up Kerry Lake, and I've been saying, we all agreed that the polls. We don't know where these polls are, but one of the things I've been concerned about, and I'm interested, and I've asked a couple people this. Do you feel like if President Trump has the lead that some people think he has and some of the polls are showing, don't you think he has the ability to pull some of these Senate races across the finish line? And if so, why is Kerry Lake seemingly getting blasted in Arizona? Why is like I look in Pennsylvania and David McCormick is knocking on the doorstep. And you would think if Trump's up in Pennsylvania, you would think McCormick should be knocking on the doorstep. But if he's up in Arizona, why is Kerry Lake getting blasted?
That's a good question. I know that her opponent is dumping a lot of money in this race, and she's up against Pima County, Maricopa County, very especially Pima County, very Democrat heavy. We were just there last week. I don't know the answer to that question. I really don't, because she should be winning. She's at the border crisis. She's on top of it. That's her leading campaign message right now, is to secure the border. They feel the effects in Arizona probably more than anybody, I would think, in the country. I don't know, but I often will say this, and is this the camera I'll look into real quick?
Yeah.
For this election, you're going to have to vote for some really crappy Republicans, people that have not done jack squat for you the last 2 years in Congress, and you may not like them for whatever reason. But if we do not elect every single Republican in Congress and we increase that margin, we simply will not get the things that we need to accomplish, even if President Trump was to hang on and win this thing. So I don't want people walking into the polling booth and simply hitting Trump and walking the heck out of the booth, because we have to win down ballot. We have to. And I've often said there are some very crappy Republicans in Congress right now. We have to reelect them. Now, we have to have a couple election cycles to get them out and replace them with better candidates. But right now is not the time to hold any grievances towards someone who you don't like or perhaps has underperformed. We must elect every person we can. We got to, get the bigger lead in Congress and, of course, take back the Senate. Now, for the Kerry Lake thing, I don't know how to answer that question. I really don't know what the problem is.
Mark Robinson, too. I mean, and I haven't checked the Mark Robinson number, so maybe it's different than the last time I checked. But again, last time I checked, he was down 5, 6, 7 points.
I don't understand
it. The same. And that's the one thing that I'm wondering how the top of the ballot could be. If Trump could be leading in these places, and yet he can't pull these, he has no coattails for these people. It's fine. It's kind of hard to believe that could be the case.
It is. It is hard to believe, especially when we look at Kerry Lake. If I'm not mistaken, the person that ran for finance or treasurer actually had more votes than Kerry Lake, and I don't even know who this woman was. And I think I spent most of my time in the midterms in Arizona, and I couldn't tell you who this lady's name was. So why some of these people are actually polling and getting more votes than she did, I don't understand. I really don't, and I wish I had an answer, but I don't.
Yeah. All right, 33 past the hour. Let's do a little news. We haven't done any news here. News is brought to you by our friends at 7cells, 7cells.com, and Rick Delgado's got it. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, the two stories that I've been all over. First was the exploding pagers.
Paging Hezbollah. Paging Hezbollah.
You know,
Aisle 6, please.
The latest offerings from Mossad Mobile. That was a lot of fun to watch. But this other story, which was last night, Sean P. Diddy Combs arrested.
Puff Daddy.
Bad boy for life.
Yeah. For life is right. Sean Diddy Combs has been ordered held without bail pending trial on 3-count sex trafficking indictment. Combs was arrested by Homeland Security agents in New York City at a hotel last night as part of a federal sex trafficking investigation against the embattled hip-hop mogul. This coming from the New York Post.com. Federal agents raided the rap producer's homes, you might remember back in May in LA and Miami, as part of this probe. And earlier this year, distressing footage of Diddy assaulting his ex, Cassie Ventura, in a hotel hallway was released. Now, according to this, he has been ordered held without bail. He was offering $50 million to get out.
I heard that.
But they said
he's got that much cash.
The judge says, "No, my friend, you have to sit
$50 million in a G6 waiting somewhere."
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Kidding me?
Yeah.
Manhattan Federal Magistrate Judge Robin Tarnowski made the ruling after a nearly 2-hour-long hearing where prosecutors and Combs' lawyers argued over whether he should be jailed until he faces trial. They're saying this could be for life. And we do have a clip.
Yeah, it's
we do have
ugly.
a clip of the attorney reading the charges here. U.S. Attorney, here it is for the Southern District of New York. This is cut number 12. His name is, I believe his last name is Williams. Here's cut 12. He's reading the charges from the indictment. Check this out.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
And they only got 3 counts? Three sex counts out of that? I heard arson. I heard any number of things. Just an insane story about P. Diddy Combs.
I heard they're changing his clothing line from Sean John to Sean Gone. That's what I heard.
And I don't know if you remember this. I think Damon was out. I played these couple clips from this comedian named Cat Williams. He did a podcast. Podcast with
Cat's been rough.
And let's just say a couple quick clips from him calling this out.
I don't know. We got to get to sports because we got a Charlie Kirk coming up too. So, but no, I've seen Cat Williams. Cat's kind of the old "I told you so."
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, he's been like, hear me now, believe me later. Yeah. And now we're in the believe me later.
He says all lies will be exposed. He said, including Diddy. And he's right.
People are already asking if he's going to Epstein him, if he's going to get Epsteined now that he has no bail.
Let's see if we see a client list on that.
Yeah.
Who attended these sex parties?
Well, President Trump says that's one thing that interests him, of course, of the JFK files. He says it interests him too. And he says today in this town hall he did with Sarah Sanders, it caught my attention. I mentioned it before. He's going to put a 200% tariff on any Chinese cars so they can't sell them and make them unsellable. And he said, after he said it, he said, this is why I get shot at when I say things like this. And I mean, he's right. I mean, these are the kind of things, this leaders across the world going, man, this guy, listen to this. All right, quickly, we got Charlie Kirk coming up. Slick, just give me a couple sports headlines. What's going on?
All right, 2-minute one real quick. We got to recap last night's odds makers. Big D.
Loser.
Aaron and I finished with a dud. Chip cleaned our clock, Aaron, this week, our guest odds maker. So the Falcons topped the Eagles on a terrible third down call there. That pass to Barkley, he dropped. Easy first down, not to happen. And the Eagles fall to the Falcons 22-21. We both were riding with the Eagles.
Kirk Cousins looking like a hero.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins, look like a rock star. He was like 20 of 29 for 241 yards.
Another guy who leaves a crappy team and all of a sudden looks good.
Exactly. And let's stick with the quarterbacks. Some sad news there. Dolphins placed QB Tua Tagovailoa on IR after concussion. I think his season's over. Miami with that big max contract they gave him a couple of years ago. Delgado's got a conspiracy, though. He's bringing back Tom Brady.
What else is
He's got Brady coming out of the
You don't think Tom Brady got a call?
Get out of here.
It can't happen.
It could happen.
It could happen.
AFC East fan, Aaron, the Jets.
2 weeks in the booth, he's not going to leave. He's making more money in the booth than he was throwing footballs.
35 a year in the booth. Why would you come out and
I want some of that money. I'm going to talk to the Zen Master about Brady's contract.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. And baseball heating up, Big D. We know the Mets are trying to hold on there. They're one game in, and the Reds are trying to help them out by beating Atlanta tonight. Reds lead that game 6-5. Mets also leading, so we got to get the New York Mets in there. The Yankees look like they're about ready to clinch the division. And that's a wrap in sports.
All right, very good. Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell, My Pillow. Sorry, we didn't do as much sports tonight as we normally do, but that's fine. Brian Glenn's here. So last thoughts here. We're going to throw to Charlie Kirk when he starts, but going in tomorrow, President Trump in Uniondale, it's going to be fire. I think it's going to be rowdy. I think it's going to be energetic.
Yes.
65,000 requests for 15,000 tickets.
Is that how many?
Oh, yes, yes,
wow.
that's what it is. Yep. It's going to be fiery over in Uniondale tomorrow. What do you expect?
Yeah, they're going to. I would imagine they're going to throw a huge plasma TV outside to get all the overflow. I anticipate people. Look, this is my first time in Long Island, New York, and from what I understand, this Trump is loved here.
Yeah.
And this is Trump country. I think we see people early. I think people are going to be camped out, if not overnight, even though they don't allow it technically overnight. I think it's going to be packed house. I think he's going to deliver. This will be his, really, in a way, his first full remarks since Saturday, which I think he'll go into a little bit of that. I think he'll praise the Secret Service for their quick response in handling that would-be assassin. I think he's going to deliver once again and prove to America that he's got the plans and keep moving. 49 days. That's it. We got 49 days
go fast.
To do it. It's going to go fast. And, I bet you, I said this after Butler real quickly.
Actually, they just told me that Charlie might be a little delayed.
Okay.
So
the way the news cycle goes, they buried Butler. It didn't take very long for Butler to be number 8 or 9 story on the rundown on any local newscast.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what we've seen already from the West Palm incident on the golf course. But as long as we keep pushing the message and the policy, don't get out in the weeds on some of the personality things. Don't get into the identity politics. Stay on point. I think the American people are ready for answers. And I think it's going to be a big rally here in New York. And it comes on a day that he was supposed to be scheduled to prison or potentially scheduled to jail.
Yeah.
So he's coming back to New York on the very day
didn't even think about
that he would be sitting in a courthouse right now.
Yeah.
So he's kind of rubbing it in everybody's face. He said, you know what? Here I am right now. Here I am. I'm in New York, right? And I'm going to have a rally and pack this place out instead of going to court. Yeah. It's great.
That's it. That was a mic drop, Brian.
That was a mic drop.
Hey, let me ask you this. Do you think I'm nuts for thinking that, because usually, who cares? They don't really matter. Am I nuts to think that J.D. Vance could absolutely wipe the floor with Tim Walz and actually have some effect on this thing in the VP debate on October 1st?
Mop up.
I do. I think it's a total mop up.
Yeah,
I think you're absolutely right. Kamala brought her emotional support animal to her interview with CNN. So, why not, you put that emotional support animal in front of J.D. Vance, who's very seasoned and he's a great communicator. This thing's over. And it's over. And I think it does help. Because it does show the strength that he has in the VP slot. I think I can't wait to watch that as well.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, he will not listen again. Trump's going to be Trump, and Trump, we know what JD Vance on policy is going. He is not going to be distracted on that night.
Brad'll do okay.
He's not going to. You're not going to get under his skin. And he's not going to jump around from topic to topic. Right. He's going to wipe the floor. With Tim Walz when it comes to laying out policy and what a second Trump administration, as opposed to whatever that would be, is going to look like.
Well, it depends on who's hosting the
Well,
who is hosting the
It's going to be that Deface the Nation, Margaret Brennan, I believe. She's a disaster.
What's the date on that? We got a date on it?
October 1st.
Oh, the 1st. Okay.
And we'll be doing our thing on that night and covering it. But usually these VP debates, I think people,
and then October 1st could be going into a very big rally coming up. I'm not at
spit it out.
Spit it out to say it right now.
Shocktober.
We get it.
We're already off the air. You can say
Okay.
No,
There we go.
but we're going to be in 30 seconds.
30
here.
seconds. I think it's right before a very big rally, so that's going to come time.
Do you think we get a October surprise? I mean, how many? I don't know what would qualify for a surprise at this point. But
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, let's just hope we stay out of war.
Yeah. Are we coming back, Aaron? Or are we done? All right, we're coming back. Live from Studio 6B. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Wrap it up. More Charlie.
What's up? She is here. Man, everybody in here. Look at this.
Look at Sam's here.
How are you?
They let everybody in here. Yeah, you see in the diner tomorrow? Yeah. Cool. I know you're Zier's always got that content.
Oh yeah.
He's
content machine.
He is a content machine. All right, see you tomorrow. Oh man. Yeah, that are we off? Oh, do we transition at what? Top of the hour?
So Aaron, what's the status with Charlie Kirk right now? Five minutes till he takes the stage.
Okay.
I don't know if that's Parker on that. We should probably find out if for some reason he doesn't take the stage. Are we just regular rapping, I guess? You have more news? I'm sure you do, right?
Yeah.
We'll do a couple more stories here while we're waiting for Charlie.
It's funny that Georgia Supreme Court warned that 2024 election challengers must, quote, clear significant hurdles and should resolve lawsuits before voters go to I mean, they're already saying, do not protest this election, or we're going to lock you up. And the 60 Minutes piece on Sunday was all about January 6th and Matthew Graves. So they're really, in my opinion, they're setting it up to tell the American people, hey, you may not like the results of this election, but just think before you act, because we're going to take any kind of election protest seriously. And they're proving, because they arrest a person every day for January 6th, still to this day. Mm.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Charlie Kirk's got... He's going to take the stage here pretty soon at his event, and we're going to cover it as soon as he takes the stage. And we think it's going to be maybe before we end here, our last segment on Tuesday night on RAV. Brian Glenn's here with us. It's been great. Aaron and Fran holding it down. Slick's doing a little sports. Delgado's going to do a little more news. President Trump tomorrow night live from Uniondale, New York at the old Nassau Coliseum right here. Home base, Long Island, New York. And I am in 65,000 ticket requests.
Incredible.
For only what's going to be about 15,000 at max capacity, 15,000 seats. Slick, I don't think they even have that in there now.
No, they don't. There's less than that because they put some luxury suites in.
Didn't the Sands Las Vegas they're
doing an economic impact study. They're about to take ownership of the property. They're in the process of doing something in Nassau
They're going to put a big old Las Vegas casino over there, right?
They say Hochul's not going to give them a license down here because of Blakeman. Imagine that. Dirty politics. We'll see. Hopefully that's wrong.
I can see that too.
I hope not, but we'll see. Maybe she'll come to her senses.
I
That's
hope
a good
not, too,
spot
so we
for
can go over there on a Friday night. Slick
big
roll the
deal.
bones.
Fly right over there. That's it, man. Sit me at the crap stable.
There you go. All right, let's do some more news here. Brian's thinking, God, what I should have
What the hell?
exit stage left before this conversation
Look at these
started.
kids from Long Island.
Make like a tree and get out of here.
God, get the hell out of here.
Let's do some more. Let's do some more news. And Delgado's got it. News is brought to you by 7 Cells. What else is going on?
All right, flashing back to the debate, of course, between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Actually, ABC News went about fact-checking Kamala Harris about the military claim from the debate. This is cut number 18, where they actually, and it kind of gets me thinking, between CNN and some of these other left-wing liberal wacko news organizations, are they seeing the light? Are they trying to get in front of something? Do they know something coming up? Because they seem to be fact-checking the people that they support wholeheartedly. Here's cut number 18. Check this out.
I want to ask you about her comments about the military. She said during the debate this about the U.S. military. Let's listen.
As of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world, the first time this century.
Our fact checkers found that to be false, and I have a lot of experience in that area as well. There are currently 900 U.S. military personnel in Syria, 2,500 U.S. troops in Iraq. All have been under regular threat from drones and missiles for months. We also have action in the Red Sea. We also, every single day, the Navy SEALs, Delta Forces, special operators can be part of any sort of deadly raid. So why would she make that claim?
I think what's important here, Martha, is that Kamala Harris, in contrast to Donald Trump, demonstrated herself to be commander-in-chief. We are in a world where there are all sorts of conflicts, and it's all the more reason we need somebody who's serious and who supports the military. And just remember,
but Governor, excuse me, but she said there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone. That is not true. You say she demonstrated her ability to be commander-in-chief, but did she not know about these people in Syria and Iraq? Why would she say that?
Look, that was a comment. That was a comment in a debate. I think the point that she was trying to make was a broader point. And of course, we have military in place all around this country.
I didn't know like a president would have that kind of leeway. Like where did he say it? Oh, he said it in the situation.
Yeah.
Well, that's different if he says it in the Oval Office.
I feel like that's perfect timing for this Kamala Harris flashback when she's confronted by Stephen Colbert over what she said about President Biden. That also happened in the debate. This is cut number 19. Check this out. Kamala Harris flashback with Stephen Colbert.
Because in those debates, you landed haymakers on Joe Biden. I mean, his teeth were like chiclets all over the stage. And now I believe you that you're fully supportive of him. How does that transition happen? How do you go from being such a passionate opponent on such bedrock principles for you? And now you guys seem to be pals.
I can't believe he's asking this question.
It was a debate.
See, it was a debate.
Not everybody landed punches like you did, though.
It was a debate.
It was a debate.
So you don't mean it.
It was a debate. That the whole reason, literally, it was a debate.
Right. What was it? So it doesn't have to be true.
I understand.
Traveled to the debate. There were journalists there covering the debate where there would be a debate.
Wow. 7, 8 times.
Can she get better lighting for that, by the way? She needs to call Carrie Lake. She's got the filter.
This is why she never polled higher than skim milk when she was up as a candidate. I mean, give me a break.
Did you see that Instagram reel, by the way, where the military op guys are watching that video?
They played it last night.
Isn't that great? And they go, where are we?
Yeah, wow.
Why are we here?
News to us. News to us, yeah.
So just amazing that according to Kamala Harris, you can say whatever you want. It doesn't have to be real. It doesn't have to be factual. As long as it's in a debate setting, you can say it, no problem.
Protected speech in a debate.
Yeah. So you were talking about ABC. I thought you were going to this story, which I got a chuckle out of. I saw in Town Hall today, David Muir. You know, David Muir does the ABC nightly news, I guess, whatever it's called. I don't know. I have no idea because I don't watch it because, well, I don't know. I have standards. So ABC News, David Muir's nightly show gets trashed in the ratings after debate moderating disaster, which I just got a kick of. He averages 6.7 million viewers on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The 3 episodes following the debate, after averaging 7.6 million leading into the 2024 leading up to the debate. So a 12% drop in his viewership after his debate performance on nightly ABC, 7.6 down to 6.7.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I said years ago. I think this is the greatest thing President Trump has ever done, is that he's exposed these people for who they are. Now that you see it, you can't unsee it. People now can catch on. Yep. People are seeing it. They're seeing it more and more. You're seeing the people that were being interviewed on CBS for the morning, trying to they're trying to find Harris supporters, and people aren't buying the BS anymore. They're tired of the BS. And I think it's finally starting to, everybody says, oh, the person's an overnight success. They don't see the 8 to 10 years that went into before they exploded and became an overnight success. I think this is in that realm where it takes a while and it starts to grow underneath, and then all of a sudden you start to see it and it starts to overflow, where more and more people are going, yeah, that's all crap.
Yeah. Well, if you looked at Joy Reid's ratings, they're horrible. They're absolutely horrible. And I can only imagine that if you're an advertiser and you're still dumping money into her show, you're not dumping money because you're getting an ROI on your advertising dollars. You're dumping money into these shows because you're funding the ideology that they're promoting. So I think that's a significant drop there. I think it probably shows a lot of people that could have been moderate Democrats or independents to say, wait a minute, I'm not going to watch this anymore.
Right.
And
right. How do I watch this and think that I'm actually getting anything honestly journalistic from this guy given his performance?
Right. Correct.
So let me ask you, let's go in another direction while you're here, because what do you think about Trump? Let's think forward to a second Trump administration, and God willing, we get there. Think about the people he's surrounded. Obviously, you'd have J.D. Vance as vice president, but he's got RFK Jr. He's got Elon Musk in the mix. He's got some. What do you think of kind of like the? I don't want to call them outsiders, but maybe non-traditional conservatives that he's kind of reached out to. Even the RFK's running mate, this Nicole Shanahan, I thought she was a big lib, but I mean, honestly, since they kind of dropped out, I've seen some of the stuff she's done, and she doesn't come across like that anymore. What do you think of the outreach to the different people that has gonna or possibly have around him in the second administration?
This probably won't be too popular of an answer, but I'm going to give you what I truly feel. I think these people are great messengers. They're great voice for right now in the election. But I am very reluctant to roll out the red carpet and give the keys to the kingdom to all of them that either ran for president against him or were former Democrats. Now, I'm glad these people have come to Jesus and they see that there's a better way to roll out policies in the Republican Party. I think RFK has a place. I think, but man, I don't know. I necessarily don't want to look. We got somebody on stage right now. I necessarily don't want to roll out the red carpet for some of these people and give them a C-suite level position in our government. I want to remind you, Tulsi Gabbard has an A+ rating from Planned Parenthood. Yep. She has the same voting record as AOC. Now, granted, she's for the president, and I love that. But I'm not ready to put her in a leadership position. That's just my personal opinion.
Sold.
Listen, I think that's a fair position. I think that's a fair position. So, all right, we are monitoring the tpaction.com. Rob Schneider is on stage, so we're going to take you live to there. Rob Schneider will take you, and then Charlie Kirk will hit the stage. I want to thank Brian Glenn for joining us tonight, and it was great having you, Slick. Rick Delgado, Aaron Fran, Harry on the Highway, everybody was here, David Zier, everybody that was in studio tonight to watch this, we appreciate. We appreciate you, of course, the Live from Studio 6B audience. We take you out now to Turning Point Action. Have a great rest of your night. Make sure you keep it locked here on Real America's Voice, and we will see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. for the Trump rally from Uniondale, New York. We'll see you then, folks. Have a great night.
Where, the Democratic Party knows which bathroom to use. We want to go back. I don't care if you call yourself a trans woman or not. When you turn 50, you're still going to have to get your prostate checked. Okay? It doesn't matter. That's just what has to happen. Okay? Whatever makeup and hair you want, go for it. But you're still going to have the finger. All right. Sorry, Charlie. I'm sorry, Charlie. You asked me to come up at the last minute. All right. Now, Kamala Harris says we're not going back, and she and the Democrats don't want to go back, but Americans do want to go back. Americans want to go back to where there's legal immigration, not 20 million undocumented, they don't even want to use the word, illegal because it sounds bad, or undocumented. How about we just settle on accidental border crossers? We don't want 20 million accidental border crossers. We don't want to have the fentanyl continuing to kill 65,000 Americans each year. Our country wants to go back to where girls don't have to share the sports field and girls' locker room. With narcissistic, failed male athletes. Because that's what they are. In the state of Washington, they said we're going to, because the state of Washington, they're trying to do a good job. They're really, they don't realize they're just being used by the Democratic Party, but they're trying to do a good job. And they set up, there's for men, that we have for girls, and then we're going to have a boys, and we're going to have a category for trans people. And no one showed up for trans people because they don't want to compete against other trans. They just want to beat women. So that we got to protect our girls more than that. Most of these people are former Democrats you're going to see tonight who, there's no such thing as conservatives anymore. They're just, truthfully, liberals that aren't crazy liberals. And that's us, okay? We're not going to go along with the craziness anymore, and that's a fact. Okay, so we don't want to go back to where 14-year-olds, can you imagine 14-year-olds? They're not allowed to drive. 14-year-old girls are not allowed to vote. They're not allowed to get tattoos. But suddenly they're allowed to make decisions that could permanently alter their bodies and mutilate themselves. You can't rent a car. You can't rent a car in America until you're 25. What does Avis and Hertz and Enterprise know that the medical establishment in California and the Democrats are so stupid about? So enough with the gender madness. We want to go back to before that. We want to go back to a government that doesn't violate America.
You want to grab some little Vinnies? I'm starving.
Hey, Damon.
Yeah.
Okay, so they took our control room is not live, so we can do a tape like a normal out.
Okay. All right, just count me down and let's do it. I'm going to make it quick.
I just got to fix one more thing.
Okay. So, Harry, why don't you go and get it ordered? Okay. Slickster, you want some little Vinnies?
I know
Delgado's got to
get home. I got so much shit to do.
Oh, do you?
I got to write 2 columns tonight and get them out before. I got to be up early tomorrow. I would definitely go, but I got to get home.
All right.
Thank you. Little Vinnies. I love Little Vinnies. I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, there you go. Great event. TP Action, Charlie Kirk, RFK Jr. It's such an important topic. This is where RFK shines. Obviously, the childhood vaccines, food. Yep. I mean, some of the speeches he's given recently have been really on the money, and great event, great stuff. This is why Trump thinks he's important, because tackling stuff like this, it's important to American families.
Yeah, definitely. Exactly. Especially when you can bring somebody who's as passionate about that particular subject and have them lead it. That'd be great.
Yeah. I want to thank everybody for sticking around. Great stuff. TP Action, as always, Charlie Kirk and everybody out there. And I want to thank everybody here. Slick Rick Delgado. I want to thank again Brian Glenn for joining us earlier in the night. Aaron Frank, great job as always. And of course, we salute all emergency personnel, all law enforcement, as we do each and every night. We will see you tomorrow night. Once again, President Trump live from Uniondale, New York, Long Island. We'll have it covered, Real America's Voice. We will see you then, everybody. Have a great rest of your very late night. We're going to return you now to your regularly scheduled programming right here on Real America's Voice. And we'll see you at 8 p.m. on Wednesday night right here live from Studio 6B.